I'm Madeleine Harvey. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I love that you're here. I love you guys. I want to be real with you. I'm going to be a little rude. I want to talk today specifically about why you're not getting better as a singer. Ooh, that was salty and cold. But no, I'm just going to get right into it. Right into it. Every video that I do is in response to a question or something that I notice happening in a lot of speakers, a lot of singers, and just creative people in general. The reason why we're not getting better is because you're reacting. You're reacting. Now, let me go further into that. The voice is a very sophisticated instrument. And you got your work cut out for you. The hard part here is being the instrument and being the player simultaneously. That's hard to negotiate and hard to manage, just as a process of focus. But to go further into it, the voice is controlled by your nervous system. Now, I slowed that down for dramatic effect because it's true. And a lot of people don't really understand what that means, so I'll explain that. Your voice is the instant manifestation of your thoughts and your feelings. So if you're focused on what you're doing, that is influencing how you maneuver your voice. That can be very helpful while you're learning, especially technically speaking or artistically speaking when you're going for a desired result. But there's also a lot of other factors that influence your voice too, and that's what's happening on the subconscious level. Ooh! And here's where it gets tricky because your voice is controlled at the mercy of your nervous system. That's not a bad thing, but it can feel like it, which means as you sing and as you open your voice, you expose areas of the voice that maybe you're exploring or you're developing or that you're afraid of. All your stuff is going to come up. All your fears, all your complexes, all your self-deprecating inner talk, it's all going to be right there. And it's going to influence your voice. It's going to influence it. Now, this is crucial. This right here is the reason why you can do an exercise 1,000 times and not really get better. Because it's the cause and effect, isn't it? The sound is always the cause. The feeling is the sound is always the effect. The feeling is always the cause. Always the cause. Now, if we take that back, we can look at it like this. Vocal developmental work it's got a lot of components to it, and it's not just the technique, but it's also the mental process of how to stay focused, how to encourage yourself, and it's also the emotional work as well. The emotional work. Most of the work is about creating space, right? We want to create space in our technique because we need the air to flow and we need our resonance to happen, and we need to create space in the throat for the stretch, and we see that manifestation of space, but we also need to create a literal space, a literal atmosphere for how we're going to be present with ourselves in that space. The voice is controlled by the nervous system. So when you're practicing, or maybe in the presence of another teacher, or maybe on a stage, and you're singing, and you react to something that you do, there's tension. There it is. It's like a knee-jerk reaction that actually goes, no, it's like cuts off the space, right? Now, it's natural. The body has a fight or flight mechanism. It is natural. It's coming from instinct, usually sometimes even trauma, right? I'm not saying you're not allowed to have it. I'm just saying it's going to happen. We can't pretend that it isn't. It's going to come up. It's going to come up to be seen, and we have to create the space where we can see it, where we can go, there you are, person, human, heart, soul, voice. All those things influence it. They deserve their seat at the table. You can look at it and go, I felt fear. I felt afraid right there. I see. I see. You're okay. You're okay. You've got to nurture yourself. You've got to create that space. When you notice there's that reaction, notice it. See it. Soothe it. That way you'll catch it in its early, subtle stages. That way that tension will not break your stride. It won't halt all of your momentum. But if you don't catch it in the early, subtle stages, it's just going to compound. It's going to get so difficult. So difficult at that point. Let's say, let me use an exact example. Let's say someone said something to you when you were younger. Maybe a teacher. Maybe a teacher encouraged you not to sing. Maybe you'd be better at dancing, for example. And subconsciously, that feeling that you're just not good enough is an influence. The belief is an influence in your voice. But now it's subconscious. You're not aware of it. But as you sing, is you start punishing yourself, and then all that stuff starts coming back, right? Now, your nervous system is telling you, by reacting, going, no, it's not safe, right? Your nervous system is trying to tell you, like, no, this is not safe, but you're not aware. So what do? We push in response to it. We shout. We try to overcompensate with action. That creates a push-pull. You're not going to get anywhere. You're in a cosmic arm wrestle at that point. You're not going to get anywhere. Go back to the space. Be still. Just be still. Let it all be there. Let it all come up. It all influences your voice, so it deserves a seat at your table. It deserves to be known. So that means your fears, your complexes, your shame, your disappointment, all that stuff's going to come up. You're probably going to feel it, but you'll acknowledge it. And you'll come back to space. That's all right. And then, furthermore, you'll hopefully soothe yourself. That's okay. You did good. You did good. I like you anyway. Or, I'm working on it. I see how hard that was. It's crazy what a little acknowledgement can do. But you catch it in its early, subtle stages, you actually feel better by soothing that trigger, right? That feels better. And then you try again, and it's less jumpy. It's less reactive until you try again, and maybe there's no reaction at all. Matter of fact, it's freedom. I can move my voice. And yeah, it's not scary like, it's scary like, that's exhilarating. That feels really good. So be very honest with yourself when you're evaluating your voice. If you're just looking at the technical function, you're not looking at the whole picture. Again, there are elements that influence the voice that you want to acknowledge. And again, you don't have to go all the way back to, I was 9 years old and my mother. Like, you don't have to do all that. Just feel the reaction, soothe. Yeah, you did it. It's okay. Sometimes I will say to myself, and it's become like a habit now, whenever I sing, before I sing, I'll put my hand here and I'll just feel my own existence. And it feels nice. And I'll go, hey, Madeleine, I'll love you anyway. You go ahead and do whatever you want. I'll love you anyway. There's nothing you could do that would make me not love you or accept you. Like, just accept you. I accept that weird sound happened, and it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. That little soothing goes a very, 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 very long way. Creates a mental space in which you become completely cooperative to your own instrument, and in that cooperation, you've negated that tension in its early, subtle stages, which means you're not feeling it, which means you create more momentum, which means, there's our power, there's our confidence, there's our joy, there's our expression, there's our fearlessness, there's all the things that we really want. But you have to catch it in its early, subtle stages. That is the point. That is the work. Okay? Don't try to judge yourself. Be gentle. Be gentle. Be kind. You're a human being, for goodness sake. You are a complex, magical machine. Completely magical. And I think you'll be surprised at what your voice suddenly starts doing with just a little bit of softness, just a little bit of space, emotional space. Okay? Okay. And there you have it. Don't react. Don't react. Or when you do react, catch yourself and go, oh, okay. Yeah, that's all right. Shh, 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 shh. There. Don't make a big fuss out of it. If you react and go, God, that's awful. I'm just going to destroy my office. No. That's not helping anything. Stay with it. Feel it. Move through it. Feel it. Breathe through it. You want your body to cooperate with you, but you've got to cooperate with it. Okay? There you have it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please be sure to give it a thumbs up or click that subscribe button below. I would love to see you here more often. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I love y'all. I love my musical family. And I will see you again next time. Bye!